Uh, my game, dude, I don't know why it does this. Like, whenever I boot up Resident Evil 4, the resolution just bugs out. Honestly, the one run that we managed to beat, I got kind of carried. It was like I was the only person left alive, but then I died. And one of our teammates had a wending grace. Oh shit, the game is way too loud. Sorry.
Got some business to take care of. See you later.
Women.
I hate to break it out to you, but Salazar's dead.
Yes, it seems that way.
Sadler, why don't you give up and let Ashley go home?
Perhaps you are disillusioned with overconfidence, just because you killed my small-time subordinate.
Sadler, you're small time.
Oh. Writhe in my cage of torment, my friend.
Alright. I do have a Magnum. Yes. I wonder what class is the best to carry Gaping Jaw with. Honestly, dude, what if you just go Guardian and you like stack bleed resist and you just let him eat you over and over again? Just let him grab you over and over. You get, dude, you can attack the boss for like 10 seconds straight when he's grabbing somebody. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm like, I mean, I'm kind of joking, but not really. Because when you get grabbed, people can just wail on the boss for like 5-10 seconds straight. It's a damage buff. Yeah, maybe. Oh shit. Oh, right, it's this section with its fucking thing. Something like that. I don't think that's quite right, but... Unless this one... I remember there's some like speed strat here. I used to speedrun this game and I'm getting like, I'm kind of remembering something here, but it's... And I was the people who are hating on remake, it's like, bro, what are you doing? I mean, I think they're both good games. Like, you can definitely tell remake had a lot of like care put into it, in my opinion. I mean, I really think them adding parries was such a good idea for RE4 Remake. Like, the parries are so much fun to do. Hold on, I gotta fix my mouse binds. I'm like constantly changing my binds back and forth depending on what game I'm playing. Beautiful. Was the edited Ludwig Night Rain tourney vid supposed to go on the VODS channel?
Welcome home, Russian.
Yeah, I just put it on the VODS channel because I wasn't sure. I don't know. I wasn't sure if people would really be that in. Dude, what is up with the textures here? I wasn't sure how many people would really be interested in that video or not. So I just put it on the VODS channel. I mean... the video gets recommended, people will watch it anyways, so... Okay, I don't know. I turned on my YouTube stream, you know, I don't know. YouTube chat might be quiet. Is anybody here on YouTube, or is my stream actually live? Nobody has said anything, which is fine.
Thank you.
It might just, maybe just nobody's said anything. Okay. Just wanted to make sure it's working. Now everybody says hi. How does this fucking thing work, man? I can't remember. You never look at YouTube chat? That's not true. I do look at YouTube chat. It's just most of the time nobody says anything, so... okay, not quite right. Dude, I don't know what's going on with the textures here, though. Facebook Metaverse stream is running nice. Uh-huh. Thanks. Oh, we were actually kind of close. I think it needed to be more to the left. At least there's no insta-kill turrets in this section. Those fucking turrets in RE4 Remake are a pain in the ass, man. Fuck Kuming about RE3R in his blind playthrough before he realized everyone hated the game. Dude, what is up with these textures, man? I mean, I was having a lot of fun playing RE3R when it came out, but like, the game was just so disappointing. There was barely any unlockables. So much of the game was cut out. I will say though, I really enjoyed the. I'd rather have. Gosh. I think they did a really good job with the final Nemesis fight in that game. I know I like complain about it a lot with the acid or whatever on Inferno, but you know, apart from the acid nonsense, that was like such a difficult fight, actually. Oh god. Okay, so the thing is, this guy can't actually shoot. Is it gonna swing? Honestly, I feel like we should just try to like speedrun through at this point. We have so many supplies, like what's the point in even... What is going on? Excuse me? Dude, the JJ is such a bad enemy. The Alienware show match meant for the VODS channel. Yeah, I just put on the VODS channel because I don't know, man. I wasn't really sure if people... Oh, like, what is going on? Oh. Yeah, he's down there. This is awful, man. We could just try to kill everything. Got him.
Welcome. Got some rare things. What are you buying?
Shouldn't have been reloading this thing so much.
What are you selling? Thank you. Thank you. What are you buying? Come back anytime.
We're just doing randomizer for fun, guys. We're not doing permadeath because I just want to play the randomizer. The separate ways rando wasn't that hard though, to be fair, Salad. I mean, it's... I don't know. I wasn't really enjoying the separate ways rando as much as the main game, quite honestly. My gosh, chat. Why you gotta like... I'm just playing the rando normally. I don't feel like doing permadeath right now in this specific instance. Did you hear you just suck? I mean, I never finished the rando, to be fair, and I'm not saying Salad sucks. Spicy did finish the rando literally first. He finished the permadeath separate ways on his first try. But I mean, Spicy's also spicy, but still. The base game did not... He did not beat the base game first try, that's for sure. You got a god seed? Yeah. I mean, I don't remember. I didn't... Oh my... What the f... I didn't watch his run. Man, the reload speed is so fast. I mean, I like the idea of permadeath. I haven't played this game enough to be confident doing a permadeath. I mean, I used to speedrun this game, but it was so long ago. I don't think it's that bad, Salad. It's just you really have to like most of the enemies aren't that dangerous. But when you do get like Verdugo or phase 2 dude, these guys are so tanky. When you do get Verdugo or like phase 2 Krauser, it's pretty fucked up. Or JJ. JJ is probably the worst. You can't even like see where his fucking bullets are coming from. It's so stupid.
Ashley.
What's up, Kool-Aid? There's been a few regenerators. I feel like this Rando has been like fairly forgiving in terms of spawns.
Amateurs.
I haven't seen that
Just hang
many
in there,
super
Ashley.
dangerous enemies.
I'm coming for you.
There's been a few fucked up situations though. There was like 4 Super Salvadors in Waterhall. There was a bunch of regenerators in the Gigante fight. Although the regenerators are not nearly as dangerous in this game because they kind of like waddle over to you super slowly. Yeah, the regenerators were super dangerous in Remake. Alright, I'm just gonna use my pistol ammo on these guys to kill them. Then I'm gonna upgrade the capacity. Oh yeah, this door is like so weird. Hold on. Be back.
Welcome. Got some rare. What are you buying? Is Thank you. Come back anytime.
I'm just using all the ammo. I don't really care. I'm gonna get another upgrade anyways. So I think this should give us. Oh, it only give us 6 more ammo. Normally, I think it makes it like 100 ammo. Whatever. That's fine.
What are you buying?
Oh wait, the firepower upgrade for the Killer 7 actually not bad.
You.
I mean, the Killer 7's base damage I think is 25 normally, but you know, take what we can get. Yeah, he's doing this the circle dodge.
Welcome.
That's the striker. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. You're probably right. Normally like 2 games each. Honestly, I kind of prefer the shooting range in the original. Just because in the original, the shooting range can be done so much faster. Like, the moment you shoot one down, the next one pops up. Like, it's so much faster to do the shooting range in the original. And I guess it's also kind of easier too, but it kind of annoys me how difficult some of the remake ones are, actually. Because you're basically, like, you just have to deal with the bloom of the gun. Sometimes you can't even, like, shoot some of them because the bloom of the gun makes you miss. Yeah, I mean, it's nice that it's challenging. It's just like when I never really wanted to do the fucking shooting range in the Rando because it was so annoying when I would miss like one fucking thing and I'd have to keep redoing it over and over again. I don't know why I'm even bothering to use the knife, man. We have enough yellow herbs. Wait, where does this go? Oh, right. Okay. I remember. Are we coming up to the freezer part now? Oh yeah, the Matilda's okay. My other options have been much worse, so. The fucking Mendez Hill in the remake, man. So messed up. Mendez Hill was not fun. Die. This is how easy it is to kill a regenerator in this game as well. In the remake, this does not work though. We might want to, I don't know if we need to, like, it helps if we, I think we'll kill him either way. Yeah. It helps if you knife the actual Plagas though. Egg upgrade. You miss incendiaries. Yeah, that's fair. It is weird that they decided... Oh, it's a chicken. It is weird they decided to get rid of incendiaries. They did the same thing in RE3 Remake. They got rid of the freezing rounds. And it's like, why? Why remove... I don't get it. What the... Also, why do these guys have... I don't know why I'm doing this again. Why do these guys have glasses on? Is that the Rando that... Yeah, we beat Peak yesterday. It's a fun little game. What? In one try. It was our second try. Yeah, it's just rifle ammo. Possible to do hitless RE4? Yeah. I mean, didn't Hob tried to do hitless RE4? Oh. I don't know if he ever finished it or not. I think he did, right? I mean, doing it randomizer, however, is a different story. Dude, you guys are so tanky. How is he? He's never played RE4R? How? How did he not play it? Dude, I don't understand Hob. Also, I'm fucking switching. I forgot we set this up before. You can, so this mod that I have lets you actually swap weapons without going into the inventory, and I already kind of forgot that I set that up. You can also Dipman glitch without opening the inventory, which is kind of funny. It's called RE tweaks. RE4 tweaks. And you can go under hotkeys? Yeah, hotkeys, and then you can... wait, is it hotkeys? Or was it under trainer? I can't remember how I set it up or where it was. Where the heck was it actually? Was it? Oh yeah. It was hotkeys in trainer. Yeah. That's why I got confused. I knew it was under hotkeys, but it was the wrong hotkeys. Yeah. You can set the binds. So you just have to like turn on enable weapon hotkeys, and then when you're in the inventory, when you have a weapon highlighted, you just press the number that you want it to be assigned to. Wasn't there last year. Well, maybe it's a new feature or something, but yeah, I had no idea until somebody told me the other day when I was playing. It's actually like, it's genuinely so nice being able to switch just on the fly, but I'm not used to it at all. Die. should have been in the remake. I can't believe they cut this part out, dude. Why didn't they give us the fucking... the crane game in the remake, dude? How could they? Terrible remake. He's doing it again. Yeah, I mean, I told you guys, I'm not gonna be able to fucking remember. It is cool though. They gave us auto sword. Yeah, auto sword is so nice. And if you couldn't tell, I am just joking about the crane. That wasn't obvious enough. Am I going the right way, dude? I don't even know. I hope so. Oh god. Dude, did that thing just protect them from the grenade? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, I'm doing it again. Oh, look, there was a grenade right there. Think to break new speedrun record for RE4. Remake again. Not really. I mean, I don't know. The record for RE4 remake is actually pretty fucking optimized because Missing No has just been grinding it like crazy. I do miss running RE4 remake, but I don't know, man. Oh, what the fuck? Honestly, I think the next speedrun I want to do is, well, the next speedrun I'm going to do is probably Death Stranding 2. I'm actually pretty excited to potentially run Death Stranding 2 because I don't know, I had a lot of fun routing Death Stranding. Trying to figure out how to get through the missions efficiently. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I mean, I'm worried Death Stranding 2 might be like a 10-hour long speedrun or something. Hopefully it's not that long, but I mean, honestly, if it's like 5 or 6 hours, I can deal with that. I just hope it's not like 10 plus. Unskippable cutscenes. Also that, what the hell was that? You can skip like all the cutscenes in Death Stranding 1, so, well, maybe not all of them, but you can skip a lot of it. The worst thing about running Death Stranding 1 is that the NPC dialogue, you couldn't skip it by holding down a button. You had to press the button for every single line of dialogue in the game. So you have to just like mash for all the NPC dialogue. Which actually gets really fucking exhausting to mash for like 5 hours straight. I mean, you're not doing it the entire run, but there's a lot of fucking dialogue. Will I be streaming RE9 remake presentation next week? Yeah. I mean, if as long as I'm streaming that day. When is that? Yeah, I'm super excited for RE9, man. RE9, you know, is like I mean, I love speedrunning all the new Resident Evil games. It's a lot of fun. I do think they get, you know, running the new REs gets a little boring after like a few weeks or like a month. It's not really a game that I can run for like years, in my opinion. At least because I'm like a full-time streamer and I stream 8 hours a day. I'm definitely excited for that. Funny enough, on my YouTube channel, the video that's been getting the most views lately is my RE4 remake speedrun. So it's kind of random. It's such an outdated run now too. There's so much new stuff that's been found. Oh. Well, that sucks. My game just crashed. You know, I actually haven't had the randomizer crash that much, but that's gonna set us back a little bit. We might want to make a save with the trainer, potentially, before that room. We might need to skip that room, even. How many times have I died? I don't know. I haven't been keeping a death count. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the textures. Wait, was this the door that crashed me? Yes. Okay. Hey, not Professor, thank you for the 30 months. Thing is, what room is that? You can use the trainer to teleport. This is cryo storage. It must be... Probably gonna crash when I teleport here, but I guess it is the communication tower, right? Is this the door? Wait, does this even lead anywhere? I don't even think you need to go this way. But I'm not sure if... Is that where the door... This is it? Okay. This is a good grenade opportunity. I like that they're, man, these enemies are something else.
Welcome.
Seems okay for me. I'm not dropping any frames, but
What are you selling?
possible something could be going wrong. Not even a triple, I know. I tried. I saw the vision, but... Wait, what goes in this fucking thing? It's the... Oh wait, this already has red and blue in it. I don't know about the mask though. I guess the mask is... Yeah, no, it's not any of those. Cat eyes for Beerstein. I see.
Back any time. What are you selling?
I mean, I don't even know why I'm bothering to sell stuff. I don't really need to.
What are you buying? What are you buying? What are you buying?
Where the hell does this go? I don't think you need to come up here. This is like an optional area, isn't it? Or maybe you do. Well, at least in the speedrun, I feel like you skip this area. I can't remember.
Request backup. I repeat, request backup.
You're at day 20 of the altars. Yeah, I should consider playing more of that game. I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it. I just, there's, you know, with night, I still wanted to play more Night Rain, and there's just so many things I want to do. Okay, sorry. I'm afraid it's gonna crash again. I mean, I guess instead of going through the door, we could... Is there a way to, like, force a save? Probably. Don't know how. Hey, thanks, Sin. Need to get in the debug menu. Oh. Huh, that's so weird that going through the door normally caused it to, going through the door normally caused it to crash. Very strange, but if I teleported with the tool, it was fine. But now we have the storage room key. This guy has something on him. Oh, don't. Oh my god, these guys are so tanky. Well, thanks for the $5, Frederick. This fucking key in my inventory is so annoying.
Leon.
You okay?
I don't know if Leon is going to be an RE9. But maybe. I mean, they could keep it as a surprise.
Wait. Follow me.
Follow me.
Wait. Follow me. Wait.
How did that guy? Oh, I'm doing it again. I don't know how that guy didn't get hit by my grenade.
Follow me. Looks like this is it.
Ugh, it stinks.
Sure does.
No way, Leon.
Way.
Are you out of your mind?
I knew you'd be fine if you landed on your butt.
You... What is this?
Come on, let's go.
What is this?
What is that thing?
My name is Krower.
This section's easier than normal.
Wait. Follow.
Burn. Perfume. More eggs for the egg collection. Beautiful. Saving the rocket for NG+. I'm saving it for the final boss, probably. I'm not gonna use it on normal enemies. Oh shit. I wanted to... Yeah, we're gonna have to. Oh, nice. I'm just gonna flash. And then go in here. I think it's better if Ashley operates the wrecking ball.
Follow me.
You just have to hit it twice. It's not too bad. They made that section so much harder in the remake, it's actually insane. I mean, if you know that you can use grenades to speed it up, it's okay, but if you don't use the grenades, it takes so long. Oh gosh. How much magnum ammo do I have? 38. Like half the length of the remake. It's actually about pretty similar, at least in terms of speedrunning. Believe it or not.
You print money. I like money.
Hey, Wadey, thank you for the 53 months.
Follow me.
Leave it to me, Leon.
Oh, there's a merchant here. Nice. That is convenient.
Welcome. Got a selection of what are you
I
buying?
want to upgrade the capacity on the Killer 7
Thank you.
and
Is
my
that all?
Striker.
Thank you. Come
Conserving our ammo.
back anytime. What are you selling?
So broken that it gives you ammo, yeah.
Thank you. What are you buying?
I'm just saving the upgrades. I'm saving the upgrades because I can use them to get ammo back.
Wait.
We did it. This section could be really fucked up, I feel like.
Behind us!
What the? What the? Dude, this is the worst. Now they got knocked, like, near my fucking feet. Why do they get fucking, like, hyper armor during that, dude? Great. What the what am I seeing? Wait, did JJ spawn? I thought I saw. Where was he though? Was he on the ground? Where the fuck was he?
I'm leaving it to you.
I wonder if you could reload checkpoint here to despawn the enemies. That might be a thing, I can't remember. Oh. He's behind me. Wait, so he spawns.
I'm leaving it to you.
There's an enemy spawn like behind me, I guess. Okay, I think in the speedrun you normally go this path. Maybe this way is better, but oh my gosh. Dude, I feel like the problem, you can like barely fucking hear him. JJ is so bullshit in this, honestly.
Help me, Leon.
Fine. All according to plan. I love the safe room music in this game. Safe room music in RE games is so nice. Such a good feeling.
Welcome. Got a selection of what are you buying? Is that all? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Max firepower.
What are you selling? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Come back anytime.
Is this still one death restart? No, we're just doing a casual run, just for fun.
Strongly inside you.
Just to practice the randomizer.
Sadler!
I'm still interested in trying it permadeath, but
Perhaps
nice just to play it casually, to be
but
honest.
you cannot disobey. Now, come to me, Ashley.
Ashley!
It's already begun.
What's the news on our friend Leon?
He's not making it easy. The sample?
Sadler's got it. It seems he sniffed out our little game.
Perfect.
Just so we understand each other clearly, I don't trust you, nor does Wesker. If you try to do anything clever, I will kill you.
Is that so? You know, I met Wesker long before you.
We'll see soon enough if you did.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's what I'm talking about.
At least it's not phase 2 Krauser. Oh, my inventory's getting so full. Oh, come on. Oh. How much handgun ammo do I have? A pretty good amount. Wow, okay. Probably should have just shot him. Heat in the UK. How hot is it over there? Oh, Krauser fight time. You shoot Luis too many times, you just get game over. It's not that... It's pretty easy to avoid shooting Luis, though. And I don't know if, like, shooting him... Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think I shot him a single time when I did the rando this time. Like this...
Comrade.
In this run.
Krauser. I died in a crash 2 years ago. Is that what they told you?
You're the one who kidnapped Ashley.
You catch on quick, as expected. After all, you and I both know where we come from.
What do you want?
The sample Sadler developed, that's all.
I'm not sure how much damage you deal to Krauser with the knife, but it's definitely the best damage.
Trusted me. Like you, I'm American.
You got her involved just for that?
All for Umbrella's sake.
Umbrella.
Almost let it slip. Enough talk. Die, comrade!
Oh, motherfucker. I didn't know it was gonna switch to D. I was pressing it fairly quickly, but it didn't. I don't know. I guess it wasn't good enough.
You got her involved just for that?
I was spamming A, but then I realized it switched to D, but I think I switched like too late, so it didn't. It just wasn't good enough.
All for Umbrella's sake.
Umbrella.
Almost let it slip. Enough talk. Die, comrade!
Ada!
Well, if it isn't the bitch in the red dress.
Looks like we have the upper hand here.
You may be able to prolong your life, but it's not like you can escape your inevitable death, is it?
You knew each other?
More or less. Maybe it's about time you told me the reason why you're here.
Maybe some other time.
Enjoy the reunion with your old friend?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Wonderful. I wouldn't want my special guests on the island feeling unattended.
Guess I'm supposed to thank you, right?
Ah, I have an idea. Since you're here, why don't I introduce you to it? It should keep you busy.
Can't remember the name, huh? A senior moment, perhaps.
Oh. Enjoy the fun.
Easy.
Oh shit.
All right, I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back, chat. All right, I'm back. Enough resting. I don't want the fucking incendiary. I want the money. Whatever, dude. I don't care. I don't care enough. Leave it.
Welcome.
Can I tune up more?
Got some rare. What are you buying?
Gotta get more firepower.
Thank you.
Did we
Come
use all the
back
shoddy ammo? Oh no,
anytime.
we still have like a full. The cat is probably shaking because there's probably a human holding the cat from behind and shaking him. That's probably why.
Ashley. What is that?
Okay, I need to remember how to do this part efficiently, because if you have a grenade, you can do like a skip here as well. This part is scary in the rando, like I can't. So is that one as simple as just... There's another... Okay, so you do have to go past him. One where you can do skip. What the frick? Can you get through that other direction? Oh no, you have to go that other direction. Chicken. Okay, this is where you do the skip. You go over here. You throw the grenade. Oh, hello, Mr. Cow. I didn't go in the crate. Oh. Maybe I should rocket this guy. Oh shit. I think you need to like climb up here or something at the end. You like almost fall. Oh wow, that's cool. That's very cool. All right, dude. Chill. Run! Like, I could rocket him. How tanky is this guy? I dodged, but okay. Did that even hit him? Can we do it a third time? Doesn't seem that tanky. Yeah, I unloaded a full Magnum clip into him, but I have 40. I have nearly 40 Magnum ammo, and like the thing is, I would rather use a rocket on. Well, I don't know actually. I don't know what's better to use it on, because like I kind of would want to use a rocket on I would like to use a rocket on Saddler, yeah. I don't think there's anything back there that we need. Ada gives you a free rocket for him. She gives you a free rocket for him after you've done enough damage to basically have beaten the fight. But it's not like you just spawn in the fight and you get a rocket and you just instantly kill him. Who's shooting down there? Okay. Yeah, the insta switching is a little weird, but it's honestly pretty nice. I'm a fan of it. What's down here? Wait, is this the way that... Oh no, this is actually the way that you go in the remake, or in the OG, isn't it? In the remake, you normally go... Yeah, you would normally go this way, but they changed it. I do an RE5 rando once it's out? Oh yeah, for sure. I would actually... It'd be fun to do that with like Bach or Salad. Or, I mean, anybody who would want to do RE5, potentially, but... Replaying the OG, what is one thing you miss being in the remake? I don't know, I mean...
Welcome
wouldn't say there's anything I really miss in the remake compared to this, because they're pretty similar. Does this... Can you combine stuff with the staff?
Come back anytime. What are you selling?
I can't remember. Doesn't say that you can combine with it, so I think it's
Thank
fine.
you. What are you buying? Is that...
Oh, 65 ammo now. Yeah, let's go. Can also upgrade the capacity on our Killer 7. Boom.
Thank you. What are you selling?
Not bad.
Oh, Elden Ring.
Yeah, you can combine stuff with the crown. That's true. I guess we'll do this. Wait, is there even... Actually, I think we did all of them, right? This is just a second opportunity to do the one from before. Yeah, we already did D. The exclusives, they're lame in the remake. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do like that some of the exclusives in the OG are pretty nice. Browser time.
So, you two are all hooked up now, is that it?
Where's Ashley?
Do you really want to know? She's beyond that gate. But you'll need 3 insignias to open it.
What are you gonna do, Krauser?
There's one in the north, and the other in the east.
Wait, that wasn't
let me
actually the
guess.
medallion, that was just money.
You got the last one.
It pretty much means you're on a tight leash.
Sounds like you thought this one out pretty well.
Nice aim, dude. Oh, fuck. Right. He breaks the fucking wall.
Got you off guard.
Come on in, bozo.
Good. That's what I'm talking
There's one. Yeah, I don't know if he can one-shot me at this health. It's kind of scary.
That's what I'm talking about.
I know, he can shoot you at this part coming up. You don't need to kill him to progress. Yeah, I mean, that's... I kind of figured that's the case if you get lucky. I hope I haven't missed any items. Can you destroy this pillar? I don't know if that was a good idea.
What do you intend to do restoring Umbrella?
To bring order and balance to this insane world of ours.
A psycho like you can't bring order or balance.
You don't seriously think a conservative mind can chart a new course for the world, do you?
Are QTE here?
That's what I'm talking about. Good, Leon.
Don't just stand there. Come out and fight like a man.
I'm not falling for that one.
Just trying to have fun.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, look at that. You know what? We got it. Anything up here? The thing is, we don't have to fight Krauser because we already have all the medallions, but I'm still going to for practice purposes. I think
A bit soft, are we?
you mother.
What is it that you fight for, comrade?
My past, I suppose.
Umbrella.
Oh god. All right, max HP, baby.
Fucking hell! Fuck!
Can't remember what actually triggers the fight. Is it interacting with this thing? I think it is.
Two down, one more to go, Krauser.
We'll see about that. Witness the power!
You've lost it completely, Krauser.
Prepare for your death, Leon.
That's not good. Oh, that's not good. You know what, let me just retry. Whatever. Knowing I can't... Can't fucking knock these guys off the ledge. How are you?
Prepare for your death, Leon.
I don't remember the movement at the start here. There's like a specific way to get him in the corner. That was close, but... What? Mr. Luis.
Prepare for your death, Leon.
Alright, let's see. Why didn't he... He didn't jump back twice. Oh, come on. Hey, Navral, thank you for the 4 months. Oh, let's do it like one more time. I mean, I want to be able to, you know what, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check the speedrun for the game. Okay, I was doing it correctly-ish.
Prepare for your death, Leon.
I mean, there's a chance we don't even need to kill him in the run. But it's good to practice it on the off chance we do need to kill him. I'll use Dipman in the run if I get the striker. I don't know, it's... Using Dipman in the run is kind of dumb, because... Well, okay, I mean, it's... I feel like it's kind of dumb, because if you start with the striker, you just your run just becomes like twice as easy instantly. But then you also have to constantly go into the inventory. Well, technically you can do Dipman with the weapon swap. Like, there's a mod which lets you swap the weapons with a keybind in this game. And you can also Dipman with that.
So, it seems
Dipman's kind of broken though.
Krauser too. How shall I return my appreciation?
What are you talking about? I thought he was with you.
What are you talking about? Did you really think I'd trust an American? To tell you the truth, I was contemplating how to get rid of him. But thanks to you, that's no longer necessary.
You were just using him right from the start.
Oh, I must hand it to you. You've demonstrated quite a bit of promise by killing Krauser. When your assimilation with Las Plagas is complete, I'll have you serve as my guard.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to decline your generous offer. I have prior engagements.
Enjoy your smart-mouthing while you can.
We'll do glitchless run. I mean, possibly. The only glitches you can do in this game is if you have the Dipman, the striker, and you do the Dipman glitch.
¿Viste algo? No hay problema.
Damn.
Hey, it's about time.
Sorry, bad traffic. I'll cover you.
Llévalos de pólvora. Ahí está.
Boulder dynamite area. Do you mean the mine cart?
Now that's what I call backup.
The name's Mike. You looking for firepower, you come to the right place.
Yeah, I think you need to use Dipman to do like most of the glitches. Well, actually, maybe one of them is doable without Dipman. I don't know. I can't fucking remember, but I don't really plan on doing skips or like Dipman glitch. How am I supposed to kill this lady anyways? Doesn't do that much damage though. I mean, I guess I could just wait for Mike, right? Is that a strat you can do? Come on, Mike. Mike never helps in professional. Oh yeah. Looks like Mike's helping. You lie, chat. Crazy how much tinier this section is in the OG, actually. Or at least it feels a lot tinier, I don't know. I probably shouldn't have jumped down here. Oh, is that a chainsaw guy I just saw? Do I even need to climb up here? Is she gonna blow up still? Pretty sure you can just like book it here. Yeah, chainsaw enemies just get knocked down by a shotgun. It's like so easy. With the glasses? That's a good question, man. I'm not sure. Like, is this safe to do? From what I remember, I think before, when I used to do this, you could throw... I don't know, hold on. Do I gotta I think I got a checkpoint at the start of this room, right? I think you can, like, throw a grenade or something. Or maybe it's sniper? Unless you just full speed with the dipman and you just don't even worry about them. Maybe you don't want to go up this one first. My head. Dude, I feel like enemies just don't make, like, I didn't fucking hear anything there. I didn't hear shit. You just, the the sounds for enemies, like at least it's in remake, it's so obvious if there's like a chainsaw enemy or, you know, what have you. Dude, I didn't hear shit. I guess just using the magnums. Excuse me? What the fuck just hit? Huh? Oh, it was her? Jump down. You could jump down here. Yeah, I think like if Mike, oh my god. Oops. Use my magnum for that. Come on, Mike.
Thanks. When we get out of here, drinks are on me.
Yeah, hey, I know a good bar.
Mike!
Rip Mike.
I'll make sure you're the next to go, Saddler.
Ooh, I'm sorry, Leon.
Saddler, you bastard!
It's nothing to get all upset about. Don't tell me you've never swatted a bothersome fly. In essence, it's the same thing.
What did you say? Insects' life doesn't compare to human lives.
When you've acquired this power, you too will understand.
Guess it's another good reason to get the parasite out of my body.
I wish you luck.
Oh god, this.
Leon, you okay?
Yeah.
Ashley killed a Krauser with the bridge. Dude, that was such a good clip.
Sorry, Ada.
We have to get that parasite out of your body.
Yeah. But before that, I gotta save Ashley.
Fine. Let's split up.
Okay, sorry. Let me time out this Patrick guy. He's have a little timeout, buddy. I don't even know. I don't know what man's talking about. We don't really need yellows anymore. Yeah, I mean, RE4 is not meant to be like a scary game, really. Thing is, normally there's like an enemy that drops a key here. But I might need to take my time. I'm not really sure. Also, I should... I don't need these arrows. How tanky is this man? Got a lot of handgun ammo. god. See, this is the thing, dude. The fucking mine thrower is bait, man. It really is. It's like so hard to use. It's just when you pull it out, it's so fucking slow. Is that actually gonna be the key? Is that an up here or? God, these things suck. Fucking great, dude. This is what I mean, dude. One enemy just starts running towards you and you're fucked. This thing is terrible. It really is just so bad. I'm never trying to use this thing again in a run, dude. Wait, what am I missing? Okay, so one of the enemies did in fact drop it. Whee! God, this thing sucks. Lysarian, thank you for the 53 months.
You'll soon harbor an awesome power. Yet it seems you would rather choose death.
I'm taking Ashley back, whether you like it or not.
Ah, the audacity of youth.
Leon, now! Move!
Let's go! Welcome. Got a selection. What are you selling?
What else can I sell?
Is that? Thank you. Thank you. Is that? Thank you. Thank you. What are you buying?
Or
Thank
damage. What does the exclusive do for this?
Thank you.
Guess I don't have an exclusive. What's the exclusive for the mine thrower?
Come back anytime. What are
Honestly,
you
maybe we should have
buying?
bought some heals. I guess we still can, but
Is that all?
I mean, we have how many heals? We have like 6 or 7, 8 maybe. Fuck, was there a save spot there? Well, time to just teleport back. Let's just teleport there. Oh, we're back here. Whatever, man. I don't even know where we are. Where is this? Courtyard. I don't think we want to be here. I guess it was the Ashley electric chair, right? Well, we were at that part. And then we were here, yeah. This is where we crashed. It didn't actually crash this time. That's so weird. Oh, that killed me. Okay. It's so... Dude, his damage is so random. It's like, oh, he hit me for a quarter of my health. I guess it's fine. Oh, wait. Now he just instantly killed me in half a second.
That's what I... That's what I...
I hate when they do this. I'm fucking spinning. Over here.
Follow me.
I think we're supposed to go this way, but the other way. Ashley? What the hell's going on? Chill. Chill, girl. I'm scared of the staircase or something? Fuck you, Krauser.
This hunk of junk? I don't know.
Get
about
out of
this
here,
man.
man.
There's only one way to find out. You operate.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Here
what's
goes
the
nothing.
alternative?
How are you feeling?
Like $1,000,000.
I thought you were gonna die. All right. Guess I'm up.
You okay? I don't know about you, but I think it's time we go home.
Time to go home. What the? You kidding me? crazy. This crazy man away from me.
Welcome. Got a selection of... What are you buying? What are you selling?
I don't think there's anything treasure-wise that we can mix except for the... yeah, no, we don't have shit.
I'm back anytime. What are you selling? Thank you. Thank you. What are you selling? What are you buying? Thank you. What are you buying?
Or egg?
Thank you. What are you selling? What are you buying? What are you buying?
Maybe I'll buy some fish. How much do they take up though? Isn't it 3 spaces?
Thank you.
Alright, let's do it. I mean, we didn't get another rocket, so I think saving the rocket for this might be a good idea.
You stay here.
I don't know. I think we can also just blast him with the Magnum pretty easily.
Ada! Better try a new trick, cause that one's getting old. You okay?
I've been better.
What's so funny?
Oh, I think you know. The American prevailing is a cliché that only happens in your Hollywood movies. Oh, Mr. Kennedy, you entertain me. To show my appreciation, I will help you awaken from your world of clichés.
Ada, stand back.
Oh god. Probably want to skip that cutscene, I guess. Oh, I thought I was dead, to be honest. Okay, we need to use a fucking grenade. Nice fucking grenade. That did nothing. Brother, what the fuck is he doing? now his fucking stupid face is facing the wrong... Because you have... Wait, can you just like rocket his body? Does that even work? I like how that fucking prompt appeared for like 1 second. Now his face is fucking facing the wrong way. Okay, this is why you want the rocket. Hold on, let's try this again. Did not miss one shot.
Use this.
Woo! Where did you throw? Did she throw... Wait, is the... Wait, now I'm even more confused. Is the rocket... Oh, the rocket somewhere in the fight, then? Why isn't it going up? I guess you can just kill him without Ada's rocket. I wonder if her rocket was somewhere in the arena or if I just don't get it.
Sorry, Leon. Hand it over.
Ada, you do know what this is.
Hmm. Don't worry. I'll take good care of it.
Ada!
Gotta go. If I were you, I'd get off this island too.
She really pushed it.
Here, catch. Better get a move on. See you around.
Very cute.
Thank you, chickens. All right, time to zoom.
We have to get off this island now. It's gonna blow any minute.
It's gonna what?
on, sweetheart.
Wait, why didn't it? I wanted to do the dip man glitch there, but I don't know. That's so weird. It didn't let me use the key for some reason the first time.
I know. Just hold on.
No ghost jet ski, yeah, I know.
Where are ya?
Leon!
Come on. Let's go home.
Sounds like a great idea. Mission accomplished. Right, Leon?
Not quite. I still have to get you home safe.
So, after you take me back to my place, how about we do some, overtime?
Sorry.
Somehow I knew you'd say that, but it doesn't hurt to ask, you know? So, who was that woman anyway?
Why do you ask?
Come on, tell me.
She's like a part of me I can't let go. Let's leave it at that.
We did it! That was fun. That was fun going through the Rando. Honestly, it makes me kind of want to play the, like, RE4 remake Rando again as well, just for fun. Hey, Wallaby, thank you for the 39 months. Alright, well, I'm gonna take a short break, chat, and go get some water, stand up, stretch. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm not sure what we're gonna do next. Maybe, I don't know. Kinda wanna play some more White Knuckle, maybe. There's also some other games I could try. Alright, I'll be right back.
Hunnigan, is that you?
Finally, the line's jack free.
Hey, Hunnigan, no glasses.
Forget the glasses. What's the status of the mission?
I've rescued the subject. We're returning home.
You did it, Leon.
Thanks. You know, you're kind of cute without those glasses. Give me your number when I get back.
May I remind you that you're still on duty.
Story of my life.
Alright, I am back. Hey, Ash, thank you for the 11 months. Thank you very much, Ash. Oh, chat. All right, well, the question is, what to do now? Upload data to the leaderboards. Oh yeah, there's a leaderboard.